So it's Bradders here, Tracksuit Pundits, give my review of the RB Leipzig game. Fantastic. I thought the team selection was amazing. Ollie's got to get his credit again. He got it last week. I wasn't particularly impressed with the selection at the Chelsea game, but the selection today was amazing. Like, it was, I thought it was spot on from the start. Get Van der Beek started. I said it the other day on the podcast. I said that we need to have Van der Beek starting this game. He got Pogba in the team. He played the diamond, played the two strikers. The tactics, the team selection was unbelievable. Yeah, so I can't give him any more praise than I'm saying here, because he deserves it all. Tactics, everything. Obviously, ultimately, the players have to put them into what's it called, and the players today as well. Fantastic. To be honest, I thought this would be like a one, like if we won by 1 goal, 1-1, 2-1, 1-0 maybe. But I was thinking it could be a draw. Maybe we'll edge it by 1 goal, but we absolutely destroyed them out there, completely destroyed them. Fred was amazing, doesn't get the credit. I say this all the time, Fred doesn't get the credit he deserves to get in the Man United shirt. The way he wins the ball back, it's just, we haven't got a player that does that. I thought Matic was a bit rusty today. He was one of the players that was a bit like, he was all right, weren't bad, but just, he was a bit rusty. He's meant to be the composed head in there, and a few times I saw him doing things that wasn't particularly composed. Who else we got in there? So we'll start with De Gea. Amazing, made a good save. He only really had to make 1 or 2 saves, and he made them. Can't complain. Wan-Bissaka was very good going defensively, but going forward, he was a bit. Some of his passes today, he played a few hospital balls. He played one to Fred in the first half. I remember thinking like, whoa. But overall, he was amazing, because his defending, at right back, it's second to none. I don't really know a right back in the world that's defending as good as Wan-Bissaka right now. Maguire, Lindelof, decent, good game, both of them, no problems. Thought they both played well. Shaw had another good game. It looks like the signing of Telles has woke him up a little bit, you know what I mean? Bit of competition for places there. Going into the midfield, Matic sitting. I didn't think Matic was great. Yeah, Fred, amazing. Pogba, amazing. Van der Beek was steady, very good, looked clean and tidy on the ball. And then obviously we had Greenwood and Martial. That's what we started with. I thought Greenwood was all right, Martial was all right. I think when we made the subs in the second half and Fernandes and Rashford come on, that brought a better side out of Martial. Martial started to play better. Fernandes was amazing. Yeah, so overall, fantastic performance. The manager, rating out of 10, what would I give him? I'd give the manager a 10. You know what I mean? His team selection was amazing. Then the substitutions, on point, on time. You know what I mean? Like, everything. So, for me today, Ollie gets a 10. Going from De Gea, I'd say 7.5, because he did make a great save from Kanate, a header that was like point blank range. So, like, he did do something, but he didn't have to do as much. But so I'd say 7.5 for him. 7.5, because he made that save. Wan-Bissaka was like, I wish I could give defensive and offensive, because defensively he was like a 9.5, but going forward it's a bit. So I'd say Wan-Bissaka, we're giving him a 7.5 as well. Same for Lindelof, Maguire, 7.5s. There was both above average, great performances. You know what I mean? We didn't concede. We didn't particularly look like conceding. So, probably an 8 actually for them, not 8 for the defenders. Same for Shaw. Shaw gets an 8 today. Definitely gets an 8 from me. He played very well today. Very well. And I'm critical of Shaw, but definitely played very well. It definitely looks like signing Telles has made it like he's waking up a little bit. Matic was probably, I don't want to say the worst performer, because I don't want to put a negative spin on such an amazing game, but I'd give Matic a 6. He was all right, but just looked a bit off the pace. Yeah, so Matic gets a 6. Then we're going to go on to Pogba. I'd say Pogba gets an 8 today. Fred gets like an 8.5. Or Fred gets like near enough a 9. I'd say Pogba's an 8. eight and a half. Fred's 8.5, near enough a 9. Van der Beek was a steady 7.5. Greenwood, I'd say 7.5, 8 because he scored the goal. Martial, before the substitutions, was like a 7.5. After the substitutions, and he was up top with Rashford, I'd give him like an 8.5. Then players off the bench, Fernandez, even though they didn't play a full game, he's still getting like a 7.5, 8 for me. Rashford gets a 10, comes on, scores a hat-trick. Was unplayable at times, unplayable. It was embarrassing Upamecano. That's the player we was talking about signing, and Rashford's there embarrassing him. Was like, it's unbelievable today, Rashford was, when he come off the bench. Who else have we got? Cavani come on, 6.5, 7, weren't really involved in the game. You can see he's just finding his feet, getting back into football and stuff like that, but, you know, can't complain. Tuanzebe